Yeah. So I have shared my screen and started the recording. So guys, in yesterday class we have looking into the another requirement sheet, right? And because and every project, every company, the requirements and the process is not same. Okay, they might be differ, right? But the baseline is same, right? They will follow the same concept, but the way of doing is different. Okay, so we have the requirement sheet here. You can see on the screen, which I have already provided you, right? So in yesterday class, we have seen that up to nationality, right, guys? We have seen up to the nationality, how we can map the thing, right? Clear?
Yes.
Okay, let me proceed further. Let me last time call everyone. Okay, now we are going to discuss further, right? So you can see in the, I think in yesterday class we have mapped up to nationality, right? Guys, you can yeah. Guys, you can mute, please. I'm hearing background noise. Okay. Now we are going to proceed further. So here you can see I have mapped the nationality, right? Here you can see the data types. The JSON data type is a string, and you have to pass inside the body. So they will also provide you where you have to pass. Okay, and why this property, what is the meaning of this property, why we are passing. Okay, so they will also provide you the description, right? The nationality of the employer, right? In which nation he is living, so he has to put the nationality. Okay, now address. Here you can see the address. An address is an object. Address is an object, and inside you can see address of the employee, partner, and the child, right? So here you can see address is an object, right? So what did you means? We have to create an address object. So copy this thing and go here and address object. I have created the address object, and like that. This is your address object. Now, inside the address object, we are what you are storing inside the address object, guys. I told you we are inside the at object. We are storing the key and value. Here you can see key and value, key and value, and this is the JSON object. The key and value, right? Now here you can see your requirement said you have to create an address object, right, which contain the address of the employee, partner, and child, right? Now moving to the next. Street, you have to use the street key, and it is an string. Now it is inside the body address street. Now what did you mean by that, guys?
Inside the address, we need to add the key as street and then provide the value for that.
Exactly. So you can see in the requirement they had mentioned that inside the body you have to pass, and they had provided the hierarchy. Inside the address you have to pass the street. Okay, so I will go here and create one key. That key name is the street. I will copy this key and pass it here. I have passed it here, right? And let me pass the value. What is the data type of that string? First you have to check. It is an string, right? So you have to pass the string value. Like suppose Old Delhi I am passing here. Okay, I passed the street. Okay, now moving to the next. The next one is the house number. House number, it is an string, and where I have to pass inside the body and inside the address, right? House number of the employee, right? So let me copy the house number. Let me copy the house number and paste it here. House number. Let's suppose what is the type of that particular key? String, right? So I have to pass the string value like B203. Clear? Now moving to the next one. Now the postal code. Postal code you have to pass. Now you can see it is also a string, and which you have to pass inside the body, inside the address. Postal code of the employee address. Okay, let me copy the postal code and go it here and pass it here. Okay, now you have passed the things, something like 8520, something like you can pass here the postal code of the employee where he living. Now the next one, city. So copy this city. Now you have to pass the city, and what is the city? Let's suppose where I have to pass inside the body, inside the address city, employee city detail. So I have to pass, let's suppose city is Delhi. Okay, I have passed them. Now the country, you have to pass the country. Okay, and the country, it is an also again a string, inside the body you have to pass, right? So I will copy this body and go there, and what I will do, and I will pass it here. Okay, country is an India. Okay, now a phone number. Now guys, tell me where I have to pass the phone number. Inside the address, or where I have to pass, or
Outside
inside
the
the main?
address. Outside the
Outside the
address,
address.
address and inside main.
You can see it here in the requirement. They has not mentioned the hierarchy where you have to pass. Like, so that means it is inside the main object. Okay, so I will copy, and you can close this thing now. Close the address object. So let me close. You have closed, right? Now phone number. What is the employee phone number? So I am giving the, and what is the type of that particular key? Number. Okay, you can see it here, number. It is not an string, so I have to pass the number. Okay, so I am passing 8989999, whatever. So you have passed the phone number. Okay, so the first mapping is done. You have create an employee object, you have mapped successfully. You have selected the post, you have added the content type, the content type application JSON. So this means that we are asking to the server that the request which we are passing, that is in the form of a JSON. Okay, now we have also mapped the parameter. Whatever the parameter is mentioned in the requirement, that is also mapped. Okay, so guys, save this thing, because if you not save this thing, then you have to again map the things. So we will do the smart work. We will not go and again refer the requirement and again we'll do the mapping. It will consume your time. Okay. So what we will do after mapping this requirement, save this requirement. So I will go here and Control S. You can see right now it is not saved. Here you can see the green, orange dot icon, right? Conflict. So you can save, Control S, save and override. Okay. Now you can put the name. So guys, tell me what basically this action is doing, this request is doing.
It is creating new data.
Creating the new employee, right? So can I put the name as a create the new or create the employee? Create the employee, right? Can I give the name create the employee? You can also give any name. Any name. You can put something like that. Or you can retain the default name, that is new request. Right. Now tell me guys, if I put this invalid name, that is not any meaningful. Right. What happened? Tell me. If I am not giving some meaningful name, then what happened?
It will accept, but it will not be meaningful for us.
Exactly. You will not get any error message, right? You will connect with the server, you will get the message also. But if you give the some meaningful name, right now you have only one. Right, you know that thing, that this thing is creating the employee, but in the real time when we have 100 of the request, 200 of the request, 300 of the request, 400 of the request, and if you not give the proper naming convention, can you easily identify what it actually doing? No. Okay, what I will do, I will create duplicate here. I will create the duplicate, create the duplicate, create the duplicate, create the duplicate, create the duplicate. Now guys, you have the multiple request. Can you say what action is this doing easily? Can you say?
Creating the same user.
Yeah, that I know because I have explained. But let's suppose you are new in the project. You are new in the project, so you are going through the collection. When you read the request name, can you understand?
No.
No, we can't identify.
No. Exactly. That's why the naming convention is very important. So whenever we start mapping the requirement, at the same time, you can also decide the name. What would be the proper name for this request? Let me delete. Okay, so that you know why designing and the naming convention is very important. Either it is development, either it is testing work, or any field. Why proper designing and the naming convention is very important? Because I am the designer of this project. I have started on this project from the beginning. I know each and every thing, right? So I know everything, right? But what happened if you not follow the proper designing and the proper naming convention? Whenever the new team member will join, or your team lead or the client wants to look into that collection, if it is not proper designing or not the proper naming convention, then he can't easily understand. And even for you also, if you have number of requests is more like 100, 200, 300, so readability is very tough. The maintainability is the very tough. To maintain your collection is very tough. To readability is the very tough. Okay, so that's why naming convention is very important. So I would recommend decide the name in the beginning, not when you complete 100 requests and then you are giving the name. So when you map all the things based on the action, you can also give the request name. Okay, so I will go and rename this thing. Create the employee. Now, if I give this name, I think you can easily understand. Create the employee. This request is creating the employee, right? Now, let me start my server. So, what is the command to start the server? Guys, please start your server at your end. Where is the command? Let me copy that command actually. Yeah, here we have the command. Let me copy. I have copied that command. Let me start your server. Paste it here and start. I'm not installing the JSON server because this thing is already done by you. So please start your server. Okay, and after starting the server, do not close the command prompt. Okay, now your server is started and let me call. So can you see here, guys, the data get created? Data get created, right? Now you will go here and look at the request. So you can see the requirement is asking you the status code should be 201. Now you will go here and verify the status code. Is 201 is coming or not by the server? If right, in sometime in some of the project your requirement will also ask 200. Okay, so do not get confused. Do not get confused. You have explained me when you are creating any data that it is 201 created, but in my project I am getting 200. Okay, why there is the conflict? So guys, whenever we are successfully creating the data, whenever we are doing the successful action, either create, either delete, either fetch, either update, you will get the 200 series of the status code, right? So as per of this requirement, the client wants to return 201 created. Okay, so in might be your requirement, in your project we have 200. Okay, so do not worry. Okay, so here you have verified the 201, right? Now they will also provide you the sample response. Also provide you the sample response. How your sample response will looks like, when you get it from the server, when you create the data on the server, how the response will looks like. Okay, for the comparison they will also provide you the sample response, right? So what you will do here, you will compare this thing by your request. Whatever you are getting is same or not, you are getting the same property or not. Okay, the value might be differ because in your case the request body, the set of data is different, but you can verify the key. Whatever the key you have passed, that key is displayed or not. Okay, now the ID, it generates the unique ID for every object. You can see it generates the unique ID by the server. This is your unique ID. This is your ID card. Now, all the action will perform based on this ID for this particular employee. Okay, guys, you can see. Okay, now you can see the response format should be in the JSON. Okay, now your requirement is asking you if you are sending the request body as a JSON, the response should be also in the JSON. Okay, you can see it is in the JSON format. So you also verify that thing. Okay,
Here,
now
do we
now
verify even in headers also once we get the response, whether it is in JSON or something? Because while sending the request, you made the setup, right?
yeah. Okay,
So the same
so
way when we get the
sometime what happen when you connect with the server, you will get the response. We have passed the header content type as a application JSON. So in some of the requirement, they will also ask you to verify the header actually. Okay, so like they will define here. You can see the content type. So this header, you can see it here. This header we are passing to the server. This is the request header and this is the response header. Okay, so in some of the requirement, they will also ask you after getting the response from the server, you can verify the content type. They will also provide the which particular header you have to verify. Okay, let's suppose they will ask you to verify the content type, which is application JSON. You can say it is application JSON.
These headers you will cover Vikas later.
Yeah, this header I will cover. What did you means actually, because we are using different types of header, you can see. So I will cover what is the meaning of that. Okay.
One more question, like can we create as many type of same data by post each time? Like,
Come again, sir.
like if we are using single request for post, can we create same data again and again? And
Yeah, you can create the same data, but if there is not any validation set, let's suppose in your requirement you can't create the duplicate first name. So when you try to create connect with the server and create the same data, you will get the error message because the Mayank data is already exist in your server, so you will get the error message. Okay, but it depends on the requirement. If your requirement is don't have any validation, then you can create the multiple data with same data. Okay, if
But
there
the
is
ID will
validation,
differ. The ID will
yeah,
differ.
ID will be differ because every time you are creating the new user and this ID is assigned by the server actually. This ID should be different. Exactly.
but in case like
Whenever, let's suppose I'm creating the new data, I'm passing, I'm not changing any value here. Let's suppose in my local server, there is not any validation I have set. Okay, you can see I am able to create the same data, duplicate data with a new ID. This is your ID. In your application, if there is validation, it's set like you can't enter the, here you can see in this application which we have already discussed. Here you can see let's suppose this is your data, right, which we have the Go REST application, right? So when you trying to create first time, you are able to create the data, right? When I'm again calling this API, can you see the error message?
yes.
So this thing is depends on your requirement. If your requirement had set the validation, right, then you will get the error message. If your requirement has not set the validation, then you can create the duplicate data. Okay.
because if we are creating the multiple the employees, then within an array will be sending the object, passing the object, or within like object only another object will be created. as an object will be sending the
In
data.
the backend, what happened when we are creating an object? So basically, they are using the developer are using one database like SQL database or MongoDB or any of Oracle database they are using. So inside their database, they have the separate resource wise. Sorry, first they have server wise collection, right? Inside that server wise collection, like let's suppose we are using dev environment, right? So they having the separate dev environment, they having the separate QA environments, they have separate the acceptance environment. Inside that you have the different resource. Inside the resource they have the they have structured the APIs, like they can store the things in array, okay, or a collection. They use the collection concept, they use the array concept, and they have stored all the employee or the users, whatever you are creating data, all the data will get stored inside that, inside the array or inside the collection, depends on the developer what they have designed. Okay, if they have used array, then all the data will stored inside the array. If they have used the collection concept, then all the data will stored inside the collection. Okay.
Okay, but here while sending the request, if we want to send for multiple employees creation at a time, can we do that?
No.
Single only at a time, single employee can be added.
Single employee you have to add. Okay. Single
Okay.
employee you can add one. I
So
think
in the request there it won't come the like the collection or something while sending request we won't be applying there the collection or something.
no. In the while you are sending to the server, you don't have worry about it is where it is storing. We have to only worry about the request we are passing. This is in the JSON object, right? And you are getting the response. So that is the developer problem where it is storing the things in the database as a array or collection they are using. Ma'am, lot of background noise coming. Okay.
So,
Yeah,
so
guys.
because like you said that first name cannot be same. So this type of requirements we will be getting from team side, project
Yes,
team.
team side, project team side, exactly. Because every project, based on the market, they are deciding the requirement, right?
Yeah.
Right. So based on the market, based on the user, journey, they have to decide the requirement, and developer has to implement the same. Right. If your requirement is asking that the email should be unique and you are able to create the data with the duplicate email, now tell me, is this bug or functionality?
Bug.
It is a bug because your requirement is asking you to create the unique email ID. But what you are trying here, you are trying to create the duplicate email ID. That's why it returns you the error message. And if you are getting some response, then you have to log the bug. Okay. When we come to the testing side, right, I will explain you all the concept, how you can test actually. Okay. Any other question?
So for negative scenario
Vikash,
also we'll be writing a separate request as a request will be
Yes,
writing.
separate request. Exactly.
Okay.
For the negative scenario, we have, because in testing industry, the positive scenario is not sufficient, right? You have to also test the negative scenario. So we will also cover the negative scenario, like a boundary scenario, negative scenario, we will cover. Okay. First, try to understand how you can map the requirement. If you understand how you can map the requirements successfully, then testing would be very easy for you. Okay, any other question?
Vikash, one small question. Address field, it should always be passed as an array, right? Last time you told.
No. I told, yeah, I agree. In previous classes, I told you address is an array, but at that time I have used as an example. If your requirement is asking here in this requirement sheet, it is an simple object. Okay, then you have to create simple object. If your requirement is asking, if this requirement is created by me actually, right? If your requirement is asking it is an array, then simple, go and create array.
If it is normally accepting as an object itself, then what is the use of creating in as an array?
Okay.
I mean,
okay,
yeah.
Let me explain you. So let's suppose you are creating simple object, simple JSON object. You are not creating an array. Now when you try to create another object inside this, inside you will get the error message. Can you see it here? I have stored one, I am trying to store the another one. You will see the error message. Okay, so inside the object we can store only one object type, not the multiple. If you want to store the multiple, you must have to create an array. Inside the array you can store the multiple object. Okay, not inside the object you can store the multiple object. Okay, that is the not the way to create. You will get the error, syntax error.
But this is, you're repeating the same thing, right? That is why we are having object within, two objects within that object, right? But that is not the case. We will have this separately in another person's data. So then again, this can be accepted, right?
Means you are asking that we have, instead of Mayank, we have Rahul, right?
Correct.
Okay, and yeah, same thing. If you want to do for the Rahul, then change the name as a Rahul, and whatever the change you can, you want, you can make that changes and connect with the server. It will create the separate request for the Rahul.
Yeah, I got that. I'm asking in the case that you showed just now, you said that there are two objects. You cannot create two objects, right?
I said that you can see this is your address object. Inside the address object, if you want to store multiple address, right? So you have to create the array, right? So if you, without array, if you are trying to store, you can't store the thing. Like you will get the syntax error.
Okay.
You can see it here. You will get the syntax error. You can see it's showing me the syntax error. Okay, so you can't create the multiple object inside the object, inside the same object. Like this is your address, inside the address you are trying to store the multiple object, so you can't do it. You have to use the array concept, okay, to store the multiple object. If I use array, you can see now we don't have the error message.
Okay.
So basically, to store multiple objects within one object, only we go for array, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that will also be
Try to
specified in
understand why we are using the array in the real time. Let's suppose in the real time, can you have multiple phone number or not? Yes, obviously yes. We have, like we have Jio SIM also, we have Airtel SIM also, we have Vodafone also, right? So you have, for mobile number, you have three different mobile numbers, three different company mobile number, right? So in that case, for the same thing, you have three different value, right? So in that case, in the real time, they will use the array to store all these three things inside one object. Okay, if there is the single, so guys tell me, is date of birth is multiple or single?
Single.
Every person having the single date of birth, right? Is email ID or single or multiple? Yes, they have the multiple, but they want to, pass only one, right? So they have created one single property, right? The first name should be single. Every employee having the single value of the first name, the last name have the single, right? So guys, can you see the concept where you have also pass the local address and the temporary address and your permanent address, like something you have seen in the real time or not when you are filling any form, right?
Yes.
You are seeing like temporary address, permanent address, your residential address, something like that, right? So in the backend, what happened, this all the things will storing inside one array object. Okay, so that is the main purpose of use of array. If we have the different set of value for the same object, in that case we can use the array concept. Okay, now you can see the next part of requirement. Yeah, 201 you have verified as per the requirement 201, and you will get the bad request error message, bad request. Okay, so these three requirement I will explain you in the status code. I will cover in the HTTP status code. Okay, so for now ignore this thing, like the other three requirement which you have to verify. Okay, so I will explain you how you can reproduce this error message. Okay, in the HTTP status code separately, we have the separate class for that. Okay, so you can see here in the requirement they also mentioning that if user has passing any bad syntax, in that case you will get this error message. In the requirement they will also mention if the user passing the wrong token, the access token, it will return 401 unauthorized. And if someone is trying to access your data, right, then you will get a 403 forbidden, right? This scenario you have to test actually as part of the requirement. Once data is successfully created, then you have to verify 201. When the user is passing bad request, then it should return 400 bad request. When the user is passing wrong token, then you have to verify 401. When user is trying to access the another data, then you will get 403 forbidden. Okay, we will try to reproduce this thing in the, I think in the tomorrow or day after tomorrow classes. Okay, now you map the first requirement, right? Now what you will do, go to the maps another requirement, click on the plus icon, it will create one new request. Now you can see, guys, tell me what is the resource here. Now first read the requirement, list all the employee data using the ID. Now you can tell me based on the requirement sheet, what is the resource here?
Employees.
Employees.
Only employees? Yes. Inside the employees, we are also using the ID, right? Employee is the main resource, right? Inside this resource, you have to find the ID. Correct?
Yes.
Correct, guys? Now tell me, what did you mean by this curly bracket, which is mentioned here? The ID is mentioned inside the curly bracket.
Dynamic.
It's a query.
Exactly. In the real time, if you are getting anything inside your curly bracket, that means that that particular value is not a static. It is a dynamic. It is an dynamic. Okay. So I will, what is the base URL which I am using? So this is your base URL. I will copy this base URL. Copy this base URL, go it here and pass it here. Okay, now what you have to do, you have to go and copy your resource. So this is your resource, right? So I will go here and pass the resource here, right? Pass the resource here. Now another part. Here you can see content type is application JSON. Okay, content type, go and type here content type. What is you can see content type here. Okay, select the content type. Application JSON I have to pass as per the requirement, right? Application JSON I have passed, and let me call. And you can see content type, which is all here. You can see in the parameter it asking content type, it is an string, and where you have to pass inside the header. This thing is completed here. We have already covered this thing, right? And the ID it is an integer. It is an integer, and where you have to pass in the URL. Unique ID for the employee. Using that you can perform the CRUD operation, right? So this is the unique ID for the employer, right? Now guys, tell me where I get it, this unique ID. You have mapped successfully. Now from where you have to map this unique ID? Where you have to take this unique ID? Tell me. From where I have to get this unique ID?
I think you need to do the get request, and from there
We need to do the
get request.
Yeah, I'm doing the get request now. I'm mapping the get thing.
But get
So
Get
from there,
all employees.
there it lists all the employees. Otherwise, we can go to already created. We want to check this, that post request, whatever we send, we can see.
So guys, you can see here, we have created the data, right? Right. So the server will provide this ID. Right. So after creating the data, you will get the ID. Right. So we will copy this ID from the post method and pass it here. This ID, this particular user you want to verify. Let me call. Can you see it here, Mayank? Right, guys?
yes.
Clear? Now,
Can you show please that steps again, in which header we select and then we select content type?
okay. So again, here you have to select first get method. You can see in the requirement they will mention and what resource you have to use, and you can see the content type. So I will go here in the content type. This is the request content type, and type content type here. So let me again type content type. You will select this option content type, and here you can see in the requirement it mention application JSON. Copy this value and paste it here, right? And this ID is I have picked up from the create data. This is the unique ID which I have created, right? This the Mayank unique ID. I want to verify the data which I have created is successfully created or not. So what is the ID of that data? 11, right? So I have passed the 11 here. Clear, sir?
Yes, sir. In this, like if this is a dynamic ID which we are using in brackets, so is it necessary to give number and then do the get request.
So whatever you will get it from the server, the ID which you have to pass actually. This is in my case I am getting 11, right? In my case I am getting 11, right? And let me call this API.
Because like if we are
Here
giving,
you can see the ID is 4-digit, right? So in my case the ID is only 2-digit, right? In some another application the ID is in the 4-digit. In your project it might be the developer has used the GUID. They will use the GUID concept. So in my project, in my previous project, this ID is generated by the server like that, like in the form of GUID. So whatever the ID, you will get it from the server. You have to copy that ID and pass it here. Either it is in the form of GUID or it is the alphanumeric. Generally it is not alphanumeric, right? Generally it is in the form of ID, like some integer, right? So whatever the ID, you will get it from the server. This is your primary key. Based on that you have to pass it here. Let's suppose you are passing some other thing, now this one, right? So you will get the error message. So okay, simple example I am taking. What is your employee ID in your company?
like 1 2 3 if we say.
Okay, let's suppose your employee ID is start with your, let's suppose my employee ID is VIK 1 2 3 4, right? This is my employee ID, right? Now who is providing this ID to you? It is provided by the server, right? And server has provided this ID to the admin team, and admin has provided this ID to you, right? So you can see it here, the ID is mix up, either integer, either it is alphanumeric, right? But the things it is provided by the server. Okay, now when your admin is using ID something like, right, and that ID is not exist, so tell me, are you able to find this employee into your server?
No.
So in the UI you will get like something error message, user not found, right?
Yes. Actually,
No search result.
yeah, because actually I want to ask, like there is a dynamic ID and static ID. So if we are giving the definite number only and doing the get request, then what is the use of dynamic ID?
Okay, so you are using the what is ID 11, you have passed the 11. Okay, so what happens, sir, when we do the automation testing, okay, so we will make these static things as a dynamic using our script, JavaScript. Okay, currently we are manually testing this thing, that's why we are copy this value and paste it here. Okay, but when we start doing the automation script, right, so we will use the dynamic script value. We will not pass the static value here.
Okay. Because
Okay.
in this you remove the bracket, no? So I
Yeah,
thought that
yeah,
this is
I
now the static.
understand. I understand. When we start using the, right now, if you are generating new user, then you have to copy the things 12 and pass it here again and again, right? Right.
Yes.
So
Yes.
in the real time, when we start our automation script, we will write the code so that always it will pick the dynamic value. We don't have to manually copy and paste. Okay.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
So moving to the next, you can see it here, the status code is 200. Can you see it here? In the get call, the status code is 200. Right. So you might have question, you might have in the interviewer, they will also ask the cross question. Can we return 201 okay here created, which you are getting here, 201 created in the get call?
No, it would be in post only.
So this status code asking that something is created, right? Something is created. So, but here we are not creating any data. We are trying to get the data, right? So that's why it is 200. Okay. But in the case of post method, you can also return 200. Okay. 200 okay is the simple message. It will applicable for all. Either you are deleting, either you are creating, either you are fetching the data. Right. In some of the company, they have one generalized status code like 20 okay. Every successful action they will return 20 okay. But in some of the project, in some of the requirement, they will specify the thing. If you are creating any data, then you must have to return 201 created. If you are trying to do some other action like get the data or updating the data, then return 200 okay. If you are trying to delete the data, then 204 no content. Okay, so in some of the company they will specify the things, right? They want only 201. If you are creating the data, if you are trying to get the data, update the data, they need 200 or 204, right? So it depends on the requirement. And in some of the company, they will just return 200. Either you are creating the data, either you are deleting the data, either you are updating the data. So do not worry about that. In this case, why it is returning 201? In this case, why it's returning 200?
But
do not get
like
confused.
in this case, it will create confusion only. Like for many operations, we are having same status code. How we will differentiate then?
No. We don't have to worry about that, like how we can identify the thing. We using the assertion, when we write the automation script using the assertion, we can decide like which test case get passed and failed actually. Okay, so this is the general protocol. If anything is successfully done, then you have to return 2003. This is the protocol which you have to follow. The developer has followed actually. Okay, this is applicable for all the successful action. Okay, clear, sir?
Yes, Vikas.
Now we are moving to the next part. Here you can see the status is 200. Yes, we get the status as a 200. Clear. Okay. Now it returned the JSON object and response format should be in JSON. You can see it is in the JSON. If you go to the header, you can see the content type in the application JSON, which you are getting from the server. Okay. Now you can see the response, how the response will looks like. You can see how the response is looks like. You can compare the things. You have the reference body. You can compare the things. Okay. So whatever the data you have created here, okay, Rahul you have passed, so you will expect the same data here because you use the same ID, right? So like that you can verify the data. I will explain you when we come to the testing side, where I will explain you. Okay. Now Next requirement, let me save this requirement. Now guys, tell me what name I have to put it here. What name I have to give it here?
Get an employee by ID.
Get the employee data. Get the employee data using the ID, right? And select that particular folder where you want to store. I have selected and saved. You can see it here, your data gets saved. Now, when you read this thing, are you able to understand these two requests? What exactly is doing?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. So that's why the naming convention is very important. Okay. Now we are moving to the next requirement. The next requirement is create in the real time, guys. In the real time, you will get the separate story. Create the employee object, you will get the separate story. Get the data using employee ID, you will get the separate story. And for get all employee data, you will get the separate story. Okay, sometimes they will also merge a couple of things in one story. Okay, now the third requirement is get all employee data. Get all employee data. Now guys, you guys can help me which method I have to select and how I can pass the thing quickly. Get method I have to select. Okay, and then
Base URL.
Base URL. So I will copy the base URL. So this is your base URL, and the base URL, the URL is provided by your developer, right? This URL is provided by your developer. Okay. So and the resource is employees. Okay, I will copy this resource and pass it here, right? Now the next thing, guys, tell me quickly.
And headers we have to select content type.
Header we have to select. Go to the content type and pass the content type here. Content type application JSON. And other thing, tell me guys. Yes guys, tell me. The parameter is pending.
In string you have to give the detail.
Where? Ma'am, I can't hear you properly. Your voice is very far.
In header, we provided already the content type. That's
Exactly.
what it
We
was
have
saying.
already covered here. Content type you have to pass inside the header, and you have to pass the value. Okay. Now this thing is done, right? Now let me call. Now you can see what it asking you. List all the employee data, not using any ID here. It will list all the employee data which is created inside your employees resource. So you can see it here. We have multiple data, Rahul test and Payal, right? Payal, Anjali, right? Mayank, right? Now guys, I will copy this thing and go to the JSON editor online. So you can use this application, JSON editor online. Copy the things here, Control A and paste. I have pasted the thing, right? So guys, tell me, what is the return type of this get call?
Array of objects.
Everyone agree or not?
Yes.
Yes, madam. We have to, in the postman, actually, if you are passing the header in the content type also, then you have to also declare this thing in the body, actually. You have to select this. This is the behavior of the postman, actually. Okay, you have to select. Okay, so what is the return type of this request? Array. Everyone agree? Why it is array, sir?
Because the
Because
flower square brackets we can see there within the
Because you
square
can
brackets.
see you have the square bracket and inside that we have the multiple object. Can you see the object here? Multiple objects are storing, right? Now guys, if you want to count the number of objects, how many objects are there, so you can use this application, JSON editor, and you can count. So one basic question I am explaining you, I am asking you, what is the length of this array? Tell me. What is the length of this array, which I have already explained you? What is the length of this array? If I will ask you
11.
that find the length of this array, 11. Okay, let me count. 1. Okay, let me put the value here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11, and 12. The length of array is 12. Clear? This thing is clear or not?
yes, sir.
Now tell me why I am explaining you this thing, because this concept is very important in the automation testing. That's why. If you don't understand, then you will face the issue when we write the script. Now tell me what is the index of this array?
11.
11. Index is 11. Length is 12.
11. So I told you in earlier class, index is equal to length minus 1. Right? So index will start from the 0. 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. You can see this is your index. Okay, so you can see it here. The return type is an array, and inside the array, whatever the data you have created, all the data get stored inside the particular resource. Right? You can see it here. Right? If you copy this thing and paste it here, you can copy this thing, paste it here, and you can go to the tree. You can see the array length 12. You don't have to manually collapse all the things. And right now we have only 12 objects. Then you can easily collapse. When you have 100 object, 200 object, then it's very tough. Okay, so that's why we are using this application. Copy paste the thing, go to the tree section, and you will get the total number of objects here. And you can see the index. It starts from the 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 11. Clear? Now guys, tell me, You have seen this request, get all request. Now this is your get data by ID. What is difference between this response and this response? Tell me.
It will get a particular employee details, fetch the particular employee details, whereas the get another request will get all the employees detail.
And what is the data type of both the request?
This is the object wherein we get a particular employee details, and when we get all the employees detail, it is an array of objects.
Exactly. So this
Since
is an simple object which you are getting by using the ID. This is an JSON object and this is an array object. Inside the array object, we have multiple objects. Okay. Now we are moving to the, you can see the client will also provide you the response, like how the sample will looks like. You can see they have also used the array, right? And multiple objects are stored. Okay. Now the next, let me save this thing. Now guys, tell me what proper name I have to give it. Tell me.
Get all employees.
Get all employees data. Exactly correct. Okay, and save it. You can see that particular data gets saved inside your folder. Right now we will use the another requirement, get the employee data using the query parameter. Now guys, quickly help me how I can create the request.
First, get the base URL till resources.
Base URL, okay, okay. I have taken the base URL, okay. And what method it is? Get and resource is this
It
one,
is
which I have
employees.
already done.
Yes.
Done. Now,
Then
now again.
query post
in
header, we have to give the content type application.
Okay, header we have to pass content type of the application. So content type application JSON. Okay,
Yeah.
I have passed the content type. Right now, parameter.
Then query
Now tell me
param
the
we have to
parameter.
go. Query parameters we have to go, and there we
This
have
thing
to
is
provide the
already
second
done, right? This
Yeah.
thing is already
properties
done,
name.
right? Here, properties name, string value, and the query parameter. Query param. Okay, and read this requirement. User can filter the data using key and value, and they have provided the key, first name, email, phone number, and the last name. Okay, so I will go to the param section. What key I can apply? First name. I have passed the first name, and let's suppose I am passing the first name. Let me unsave. Rahul. So I will pass the Rahul here. Okay. So you can see the URL gets changed here. Question mark, using question mark it will get append. In the interview they will ask you how did you adding the query param. Now call. Now guys, tell me the question one answer. What is the data type of this request, this response?
It is an array of object, I think. It is coming.
It is an array of object. You can see, because right now we have only one Rahul, right? So that's why only one object. If you have multiple of Rahul, then it will display the multiple Rahul. That's why it is an array of object. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now what you will do, you will also test for the other thing. The first name, email, and phone number. Similarly, you can do it. And pass the email number, whatever the email we have, mayank.com. Okay, so I will pass the, you can see How you can add the multiple query parameter? Using the AND operator. Okay, now I think which you can see in the Make My Trip site also. Here you can see, if I go to the Make My Trip, so here I am using Mumbai, Delhi in the date of 11 and returning flight is 27. Okay, and let me call. Oh, yeah, no problem. Can you see it here? It is started with the query parameter and what is the code? Mumbai, BOM, Delhi, DEL and 11. Depart at 11/8/2021, and here you can see the returning type Delhi to Mumbai and 27. Here you can see the query parameter, the multiple query parameter they have added using the AND operator, trip type, right? Here you can see. Okay, same concept here. You can add the multiple query parameter. Okay, so I will copy the another one like phone number. I will copy this thing, pass it here, and what is the phone number of that employee? This is the phone number. Okay, first we will test the positive scenario, phone number. Okay, now the last number. What is the last number? So this is the last number. What is the, and go and copy the last name. Last name is the Singh, so go and use the Singh here. Okay, and let me call. You can see data get displayed. So in the real time, first we have to check with the positive scenario with single value, single query parameter. After then we can add the multiple, and we have to test all the query parameter. We have to all add all query parameter. Okay, after then we can test with the invalid scenario, like we are not passing the phone number which is not matched. Let's call. Can you see it here? What is this?
Blank arrays.
Blank array.
Yeah.
That says that the query parameter which we have passed, that is not matched with your server. That's why it's returning blank array. Okay.
Yeah. One question is there, like we are passing in headers content type, but it is not reflecting in URL.
Sorry, come again.
Like we are passing content type in headers, but that is not appearing in URL, like query parameter. So,
what URL you are asking?
like in headers we give a content type.
Yeah, right.
So this detail is not appearing in URL. So
no, that should not displayed actually here. That should not display. That is not the the API protocol. Only query parameter will display it in the URL, and the base URL and the resource actually, not the headers actually. Okay, for if you want to use the header, then you have to pass that thing in the header. It will not get reflected here.
I think like previous to this you told like either we can pass header detail content type, or either in the URL we can pass. Is it so? Like
I told you, like I think something like if you like let's suppose right, I have removed. So if you want to manually add the query param, then it will also get added here.
Yeah, query param is fine, but can we also add a content type in URL?
No, sir. No. You can't.
Okay.
I think you have some confusion. You can't add the content type. Okay.
Okay.
So guys, till now okay, we will discuss the another requirement in tomorrow class. We have the delete also and update also. Okay, so we will discuss this thing in tomorrow class, right? So guys, one request from my side till now, you can go and type GitHub here in the URL github.com and sign up the GitHub. Create the account in the GitHub. Go and type GitHub. Here you will let's welcome listening to adventure. Here you can enter your email and the continue. Okay, so as a homework, here you can, if you type GitHub in the Google, github.com. okay, here you can go here in the sign up, create the account in the GitHub. Here sign up, enter your email ID and create the account in the GitHub. Okay, so in tomorrow class we will discuss the pending requirement and we'll also discuss one GitHub requirement which is created by the GitHub, company. Okay, so we will discuss the GitHub. You will go and discuss the repository and we will discuss this requirement. Okay, this is also the requirement you will also get in the real time actually. Okay, so we will also discuss thing in tomorrow class. Let me provide this URL to you so that you have the reference. Okay, so guys, one more update I want to give you. Whatever I have explained you till now, right, this concept is applicable if you use any tool, either Postman, either SOAP UI, either REST Assure, either APZ, any API tool. This concept is common. Okay, so even in tomorrow class we will discuss further. So thank you guys, have a nice day. And one more thing guys, who has not made the payment, please make the payment because I have given sufficient time for you. Okay, yeah ma'am, tell me.
I have an issue.
Yeah.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead ma'am. So the class is already over, so if you have any query then you can continue this class, you can discuss with me.
Whenever I'm hitting this create
give me a second sir, let me discuss with
just
ma'am.
wanted to let you know I have put the screenshot also in your chat.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Thank you ma'am. Yeah madam, tell me.
whenever I'm trying to post this API, I'm getting 404 not found error here.
So have you started your server? Can you show me your server?
Yes.
Okay, remove this. Okay. Can you stop this server? Control C. Control C. Type Control C. Hit the Control C. Yeah. Yes. Y. Yeah. Enter. Yeah. Again, run the command to start your server. You can you can hit the upward arrow. You will get the command.
This one?
You will, yeah. If you will hit the upward arrow icon in the keyboard, so you will get that command. Yeah. Okay. Run this command. Okay. Now you have, so ma'am, I think you have not override the JSON object. You are using the default object here, post, comment, and the profile. That's why you are getting the error. So I told that in the earlier class, I have provided one JSON object file, right? You have to copy, you have to copy the content from there and paste it into your dv.json file.
Okay, yeah, I forgot that.
Yeah, go and find the JSON object file. in the chat box. Otherwise, I will provide you. You can type JSON object, simple JSON object, not dot. JSON object, space JSON object, JSON space object. Yeah, no, this one not. Go down, go down. Yeah, this one. Download this one. Download this one and copy the.
So this I have to put in my.
So have you opened that file which you have downloaded?
No. I was trying to copy
open that file. Yeah. Go and open that file. Open that file in Notepad++. Yeah, copy the whole file. Control A, Control C, Control C. Okay, now go to your db.json file. Where is your db.json file? Go to that file. Users. Okay. Yeah, here at the bottom. Yeah. Open that file. In the Notepad++. Open more app. Right click and I think right click on that. Yeah, in Notepad++. Copy, paste it here. Control A, Control V. Control V. Paste it. Okay, fine. Now you can save. Control S.
Yeah, done.
Done. In the real time, you don't have to do such type of thing. Okay, so don't worry, because the server will provided by your developer. Okay, just for the practice purpose we are doing. Now you can hit the API. Now you can go to the command prompt and start your server again. Okay. Go to command prompt and again start your server. Control C and yes, up. Click on the arrow icon. You will get the previous command. Yeah, hit this command. Yes, go and hit. Yeah, now you can see resource get changed. Earlier it was some other resource, right?
Yes.
Right, now you can go to your Postman and hit your command. Now go to your Postman and try to call this API.
Yeah, I
Done?
got 201. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. You can do the practice.
Thank you so much, Vikas.
Thank you. Anyone having any query? No? Okay, guys, then we can in the calls. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Vikas.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.